they might not be hooked up right because of the audio being messed up.
Hopefully, there we go.
And we're back.
Looks like we're back.
There we go. Yep.
Hopefully, that's not a hint of things to come. That'll make fun. That's gonna really cause a problem now too, Rob. You'll have to put some. You'll have to work some audio magic.
No worries.
We'll figure it out. Okay. Hopefully, everybody can still hear us. So.
Yep.
Having a problem with one of the apps. Got an update here on my end, and it's been crashing ever since. So.
Is this going to have? Is this a separate Twitch recording, or did it overwrite the other one?
Oh, it'll probably be.
Okay.
I don't know what it's going to do. It should be a second one. It should create a new one. Yeah, you'll have to take two audios and strip them and put them together.
No problem.
So anyway, we dropped in the second time into PUBG, and we were working together, and it was kind of funny because like these guys are so quick on picking their stuff, and I'm like, okay, there's something on the ground. What is that? Do I want that? Oh, there's a helmet. Hey, let me get this helmet. It says it's a level 1 motorcycle helmet. Do I have a helmet? I don't know. Let me go into my inventory. Oh, nope, that's the map. Okay, how do I get out of the map? Okay, where's the inventory button? There it is. Okay. Oh, I have a level 1 helmet, so I don't need that. Okay, so how do I get out of my inventory? Okay, so I don't want that helmet. I don't need that. Okay, so what's next to it? Oh, there's a red dot there. I can't quite get to it. And then I'm moving around and moving the cursor, trying to get it so that it says red dot, and then I get it finally. Then I got to go in, and it says hit A to attach, so I hit A, and it doesn't attach it. And it's like, I think I got to hit A twice to attach it. Then it works. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. But it's like I'm really slow at all that. So I look up again, and it's like then Jesus and Lolan, they're like over the hill in the next town. And I'm like, oh, sure, leave your wingman behind. Right about that time, I hear a car coming. And it's just like, and I'm sitting there going, oh, no. It's like I'm almost breaking down crying. I'm like, there's a car coming. I'm by myself. I'm going to die. And you guys left me. You know, so I'm like hiding like a little girl in the closet. Please don't come in this house. And I hear the car just go by, and then they just kept going. And it's like, oh, thank goodness. I get to stay alive a little longer. So then I work my way over to where they're at. And we progress. We lose Lolan at some point. He goes down. We couldn't get him saved. So Jesus and I continue. And it's getting down to, we get down to the point where there's like, I want to say there was 10 to 15 people left. And the circle's getting pretty small. And Jesus and I are now like prone, crawling through the grass, right? And he's like, so he goes up to this rock, and he's like, you know what? There's a lot of fire, and we can hear it, a lot of gunfire over to our right. So Jesus is like, we're gonna go to the left, and I'm just following him. I'm like, I'm just gonna go wherever he goes, and so we go around to the left side of the circle, right? And we're just hearing this like battle. So we're figuring most people are probably over there duking it out. Let's stay out of it, right? So we get down to 5 people left, I think, or 4. So it's him, myself, and 2 other people. And he crawls up, and he's like, I'm at this rock. And I'm like, I don't even see. He's like, come over to me. And I'm like, I can't see you. All I see is grass. And he's like, you're right next to me. And I'm looking around like I don't see him. So I just start crawling. He's like, yeah, you're going the right way. And then all of a sudden his name pops up, and I see him. You know, his name. So I can't see him, but I see his name. So I'm just crawling towards his name. And it takes, it's like, I'm working there. And he's like, you're right next to me. And it's like, then why am I not getting closer? And it's so you're moving so slow. It's like my heart's starting to pound and everything, because I'm just like, he's like, I'm on the right side of this rock, and I'm like, okay, I'll go to the left side of the rock. And then as I'm crawling up there, I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna screw something up. We're so close. I know we're not gonna make it because of me. And I don't have a single kill yet, mind you. Okay, and we're down to like 4 people. So he gets into a fight with a dude. And so I try to kind of peek out from the rock, and I see the guy, and I start shooting too, but he gets him. So then it's like there's just like one other guy, and it's Jesus and myself. And now the circle's really tiny, and we're just crawling, and we're staying in this thing. And finally, you know, we can't find anybody, and no one's moving. And so Lolan's like, hey, Wing, why don't you stand up? I'm thinking, no way, man, no way. I'm not going to be killed. I'll die. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. That means the guy will see me, start shooting at me, and then Jesus can take him out because he's going to be a lot better to take out than me trying to shoot somebody. I'm like, good idea. I can be the target. So I jump up, waiting to die, and nothing happens. And I'm like, okay. So I kind of start walking around. I see this body on the ground. So I'm like, oh, there he is. Boom, 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 boom. Like nothing happens, right? And I'm like, oh, it's a dead body. So then I'm like, okay, now I'm standing there like, oh, here it comes. Here's the bullet to the head, right? I'm dead meat. Because I just gave myself away shooting a dead body on the ground. Nothing happens. So I'm like, okay. So I turn around, reload, and then Jesus kind of runs past me, and I'm going the other way. So we're kind of circling on the outside of this little tiny circle now, right? There's nothing there. Like, the dude is somewhere there in the grass because there's nothing to hide behind where we're in the circle. And so I'm walking up, and all of a sudden I see another body, like in a bush, and I'm like, what was that? And I'm looking at it like, is that a dead body? I'm kind of like, bam, bam, and all of a sudden I see like hit markers. I'm like, it's him, boom, 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 and then it comes up, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only kill I got was on the last guy.
Yeah. You know what? You know what the only kill that matters is?
Was the last
The
one.
last guy.
The one that got you the
It's
win.
like, yeah, I love nothing's better. Like, so you're in that round and it's 2v1 and you're really excited. Nothing's better than being in a 4v1 because it's your team versus one guy.
Yeah.
And I've been in those before where they're like, there's a lot of grass and rocks around. And I'm just like, they're like, all right, there's only one guy left. Like, everybody kind of look around. And I'm just like, all right, guys, get your guns ready. And they're like, what? And I just start running, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop. And all of a sudden you just see the guy start shooting at me. And then I hear 3 guns behind me. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, they know where he's at. And all of a sudden it's like winner, winner. You just get it. It's like, you got to take one for the team. Some tips for you since you're talking about it. And check 84 in the comments here. So next to your health bar at the bottom, you'll see your little guy, and he'll either be standing, crouching, or prone. I think so. You'll know like what you're doing if you're standing, crouched, or prone. But right next to that, you'll see the helmet icon, the backpack icon, and the vest icon. So you'll know by a simple glance down at the bottom of the screen if you have a helmet on. And then what you'll know what level helmet you have on because, the icon looks like a bicycle helmet, like a motorcycle helmet is level 1. It'll look like an army helmet for level 2. And then it looks like the helmet with the full face mask, like a welder's helmet for level 3. So those are the 3 icons. And then for your backpack, it's like a small backpack, kind of a duffel bag looking backpack. And then like a backpack that's like square, perfectly square almost. And then for the vests are a little harder because your level 1 vest will have like a V-neck. It'll look like a V-neck on it. Okay. And then the level 2 vest will not have the V-neck on it. It'll be a little more square. And I don't really know what the level 3 vest looks like, that icon, because I really don't get them that often. But that's how you'll know if you have something and then what level you have. And it's good to know, like, to check that every once in a while, because once you're level 2'd out, to just ignore all level 2s, ignore all level 1s, and really you're just searching for level 3s at that point. And then check 84's comment, which is what people use a lot in PC, is while you're running around, if you bring up your inventory icon on the far left column on the Xbox, you'll see what you're standing near. So like you can run up to a big area, just a bunch of stuff, instead of trying to pinpoint your mouse or pinpoint your cursor on what you want and hitting X. You just bring up your inventory, and on the far left you can just drop down to it, hit X, drop down to it, hit X, drop down to it, hit X, and you just bring all those into your inventory. It's kind of like a quick screen. But I know in PC people will hit tab and they'll just drag. They won't spend as much time using the F key to pick things up. Because I know with Ken or Nintendo, when we were playing, I was watching him when I was dead, and he was trying to match up his cursor, perfectly with a health kit, but then he was backing away from it, trying to get his cursor down on it, and that by the time he backed up, he was too far away to pick it up. So then when he would move in, he's picking up shirts and stuff and things like that. But So there's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of things when you start playing, you'll know what's junk. What, like, I never pick up melee weapons. I never pick up handguns. I rarely pick up shotguns. Anytime I pick up a shotguns, if I'm just dropping in and somebody's nearby me, like they landed with us, so I'll pick up the first thing I can get.
Right.
But once you get a SMG, AR, or like a sniper rifle that's not like the car, if you get a mini or an SKS, there's no sense in picking up shotguns and stuff like that because I never use them. And but you start to learn like what's junk. You know, if you're not using an SMG for 9mm, don't pick up 9mm. Only pick up 7.62 and 5.56. So
yeah, at one point I was running around with like a 7.62 pistol. I guess there's one in there, like a revolver, and both rifles were 7.62. So Jesus was like, and that was the game we won. And he's like, "You need to drop that. You need to pick up something else." So I did. I ended up with a SCAR, which uses 5.56. So, but it was fun, man. And it was like after that, I was like, all right, I'm going. And I was broadcasting, so I actually caught it on my Mixer channel. I was actually broadcasting, and I'm sitting there going, take a screenshot. And I was like, oh, crap, I can't. I'm broadcasting. Stop broadcasting. Take a screenshot. And I did. I got it. So I was like really excited. And then I told Jesus, I'm not playing anymore. I'm going out on a high note. I'm done.
Yeah, my 4 favorite guns in that game is the M4 is my favorite, then the SCAR, and then the Mini 14 and the SKS are like my 2 favorite sniper rifles because they're all rapid fire, not bolt action. And 3 out of the 4 guns are 5.56. Only the SCAR or the SKS is 7.62. So, but that's the thing with 5.56 and 7.62, you pick it all up because there's somebody on your team that's going to need it.
Right.
So, but yeah, very cool.
All right, so that's it for me. So let's move on while this thing is still working. If we do drop out again, we'll restart. We'll be right back. So, like I said, I am having some issues with the app today. I'll work with Brun this week before he leaves. Try to figure it out. So, moving on, you can support us at Patreon. This is xboxlife.com/Patreon. If you would like to, this is a way to support the show every month. It's like subscribing to us. You set up what you want to basically donate every month to us, and Patreon will automatically take that amount for you and send that to us. If you want to do a one-time donation, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/donate and to do that one time. Again, like Brun says, tips are not expected, but are appreciated. You can subscribe to our channel on Twitch as well, and we are an affiliate, so you can use your Prime, Amazon Prime subscription on there. That's a free one you get every month. Use that. Also, we request to follow and subscribe if you would like. Well, you can't subscribe yet. Well, I guess you can't. I don't know. I have to double check, but at least follow us on Mixer. So I'm working on that. So I did set the official TXL Mixer channel up. So it's mixer.com/thisxboxlife. And I started streaming games this week on there. So I'm going to be doing that a lot more on the Mixer channel. And in the future, I'm going to see about getting us to stream this live show to both Twitch and Mixer and possibly YouTube. I'm working with Brun, and I'll probably keep him employed after he's gone on all the tech stuff there. But I would like to get us onto Mixer, specifically since that is the Microsoft platform, and I think we should probably be there. So, and I really like
that makes sense. I mean, I almost, as much as I like Twitch, I mean, even before, it was like right before we got affiliated, was just like, I think we even talked about it even months before that. It's like, should we move to Mixer because they're making all these updates, and their stream is like almost instant too.
It's awesome,
it's
dude.
Extremely fast. And there's nothing wrong with Twitch. I mean, Twitch is big as well.
Yep.
I do know Mixer doesn't have like affiliation level. They have partners, and I know theirs is very hard to get into. So maybe eventually they'll do something similar like affiliation, but yeah, they do have a really nice platform.
They do. So I've done. So the other day I was streaming some games, got it working, and so I know I had several people pop in and watched as we were playing, as I was playing Diablo 3. And then today I actually added a lot of those little interactive sound buttons that are kind of related to Xbox. Can be a little fun for you guys out there. But I am going to be working on adding additional stuff. And basically, I'm kind of playing to every time I play, I really want to just sit and stream um, on that TXL channel more than my own channel. I'd rather just do it on TXL. So that's kind of what I'm going to plan to do. So feel free to check it out and follow us so you know when I'm playing. All right, we'll jump into our stories. There's a bunch to get to. So the first one, first several of these are kind of short, but 343 I guess has hinted that there's not going to be a Halo 6 this year. I don't know what you guys think of that, but they have hinted that Halo 6 will not be arriving in 2018, but there may be other releases that surprise you. This was on their blog. The community manager wrote, 2018 has arrived, and with it, the promise of new fun times to be had and adventures to be embarked upon. No, not those adventures, seemingly a reference to mainline Halo games, but plenty of exciting ones regardless, some which might surprise you more than others. So what do you guys think of that?
So are they saying that they're going to have a Halo Telltale game?
Oh gosh, no.
18 episodes.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I do so. I get as far as the hinting part of it, it's kind of like, okay, they're hinting it because I know they've kind of gone back and rewritten, I think, some of the story or part of it to put Master Chief in more because I know that's what everybody wants. But it just seems like one of those things like, really? I mean, you're going to push that out because this is the year where the next Halo should be. And it's not like you're going to say, oh, it's going to come out in the spring. You know, you're going to save that for the holiday season. But then I'm also torn with, well, do whatever you have to do to make it an awesome Halo game. You know, because they can't. As I liked Halo 5. And Halo 5 is like online and multiplayer stuff is phenomenal. Like, you cannot knock it, but people did not like the story. And I just don't think they can afford to screw up two stories. 2 game stories in a row. You know what I mean? You can get away with misstepping once, but I think if you misstep twice in a row, you're pretty much, then you're damaging the product and the name. And Halo is huge, regardless of how awesome the PvP is. So, but it would be a bummer because I'm really looking forward to it. But then, I like Halo a lot and I want it to be awesome. So if I have to wait another year, I guess I will.
What if they surprised you at E3 this year and said ODST 2 coming out September this year?
I liked ODST too. I'm one of those people that liked it. So
I know I didn't, but I know you did. That's why I was like, would you be happy to see like a sequel to that?
I think that would be cool. It would be cool or fun to play. But really, I think I'm like everybody else after Halo 5 is I do want more Master Chief. So I guess I would rather have nothing than, here, just chew on this until Halo 6 is out, if that makes sense. I'd rather just wait it out to Halo 6. That type of thing.
What if they dropped a Halo game in the vein of Destiny? So Destiny only, Halo skinned, type of thing.
Oh yeah,
what I'm saying?
I'd play that
like an online.
Yeah, I'd
you
play
had
that.
your own Spartan, and you went in and did raids and
oh my
gosh,
gosh,
campaign, and you had all that type of stuff. And
yeah,
how would that be? Do you think that's something that would be a huge hit?
Oh, I think I well, I think it would sell well. Would it take off to a Destiny 1 type level? I'm not for sure, but they definitely have the world for it. They have a better they have a better groundwork as far as their universe and stuff than Destiny did. Destiny, I still think they're kind of making things up on the fly, and they're actually really, really struggling right now.
Yeah.
They're hurting severely right now. I feel bad for them, but I think they'll bounce back. But they are really getting hammered right now by the community and everything. But I would definitely play it for sure. I would play a Halo type universe thing. That would be really cool. And actually, that makes me think. When you said a Destiny type game, the Division is a Destiny like game. People are going back and playing the Division again, and are really, really digging it since it's been updated and everything. So for people who have been on the fence of like, should I pop in the Division? You should maybe try it out. Might be surprised based on what I'm reading and read. And
had someone asked me the same thing. Have I played it? And they were saying it's been pretty entertaining and good since it's updated. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to pop back in, I guess, and check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, like that one game I've been playing, the Escape from Tarkov. I think I've talked about it on here. People said a person had a good comparison: is Escape from Tarkov is like being in the dark zone. Was it the dark zone? What was the PvP zone?
That's correct.
The dark zone. Yeah, the dark zone where you could like lose everything that, if you had the yellow pouch and you found cool stuff and you didn't get it evacuated out, you could just lose it right then and there.
Yep.
That is what Escape from Tarkov is basically the Division dark zone all the time, with the exception of not just what you pick up could you lose if you don't get it extracted. It's what you take in with you. You can also lose if you don't get it extracted. So it's like very severe punishment. So, but all right.
So
we'll see what they have to say.
All right, moving on to the Duke controller has gotten a release date and a price. It is coming out. So this is the original Xbox designer Seamus Blackley, who's the one working on this project. He's been working with the company Hyperkin, and they have announced that the release will be at the end of March with a $69.99 price tag. So, it seems a bit steep.
Well, why would you want this? I mean,
nostalgia.
Well, here's
nostalgia
the
or backwards
compatibility, because a lot of those original Xbox games made use of the black and white buttons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't exist. So I think you kind of might need it for the original Xbox, and it does look kind of cool. But yeah, they were huge. But anyways, it's coming for those that want one. I guess we'll have to get one if we want to do backwards compat maybe. Next one, over 3 million people are playing PUBG on Xbox One. I think that's astounding because the game has been out 1 month, and it's in game preview, and over 3 million people have paid for this and are buying. Well, let me put it this way. I guess I can't say that anymore with game sharing, but over 3 million people are playing it, and that guarantees at least 1.5 million people have bought it if they're all game sharing, which I doubt they all are. But yeah, that's they're off to a great start, and people are complaining about it, and I'll tell you what, I think they put their 4th update out this last week, so they've put out 4 patches in a month, and again, it is a game preview. I've heard people talking about it, and the aiming sucks, and this sucks, and that. You know what, guys? It's a game preview, and just because the PC version went, retail or 1.0 a week or two later, doesn't mean the Xbox version is going to be a 1.0 right away. We've got a much more stable, better release out the door than the PC had for months. So
that is definitely that's true. That's definitely true. and it's nice that they're updating, because they did update frequently on PC as well. I mean, they had weekly patches on PC,
Right.
and it has gotten better. The rubber banding part of it is what really kind of frustrates me, and I think the latest patch is to help address that. But they also did some button remapping. People did not like the ADS
Right.
being a pull on the trigger. Now it's like you just hold it like you do any other first-person shooter on a controller.
Right.
Which I don't know if I would like that, because
I love it.
well, I just know when I run into a building and there's a guy standing in front of me, I would just squeeze the trigger just to tighten up the grouping.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a better aim from hip aiming, and I would just lay into them.
Yeah.
Now, if that's going to bring me up to ADS,
It will.
yeah, that's going to be kind of rough for me, because I wonder what they're going to do to make it. Do you have to do the trigger pull for the other? But I think they also do different. You can change it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, I'll have to see.
And
'Cause I haven't.
they're definitely changing a lot and quickly, and they're working on. They know people are getting kicked out. I actually killed someone. I must have been booted the other day, because I come around the corner of a house, it scared the crap out of me. There was someone standing there. I was like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And they weren't moving. And I was actually talking to the guys, instead of shooting a person like most people be. I'm like, "Hey, there's someone standing here," and the rest of my team's like, "Well, they
Hey,
probably
neighbor."
got kicked. They probably got kicked. They'll be back in a minute. Shoot them before they get back in."
Yeah.
So I did. I killed them. But then I felt
Yeah.
bad. I'm like, this person isn't even here. So
Always like you would sometimes stumble across the AFK type, or the people that lagged out on the plane. They all get dropped in a certain area, and those bodies just kind of like stand in the field. Like, I remember Soul Assassin and I ran into like 3 or 4, like 5 of them, and it's just like, if you have a pan, it's like Kong, Kong, Kong. Like, I got 4 kills this round. So,
all right.
but yeah.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Oh, I did mute tab. I guess it's not quite enough.
Is that the
Stricken
frying
Thought
pan?
says.
What?
Yeah, that was it
That
sounded
was the
almost
frying
like frying.
pan.
Yeah, Kong.
No, that
Uh,
was
strict-
the
Yeah.
friggin' ads on
Xbox.
IGN, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stricken Thought says use LB for third person aim. So,
Oh, poop.
which that won't be that bad. That's just a move up on the finger. So,
I messed up on this next story. That's I'm gonna have to save this one for next week. But this was it's a video only, and I was gonna write down everything. But IGN's got a story about 35 big new Xbox One games coming in 2018. So I wanted to go through that, and I forgot that had to write that list down. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So I will save that for next week, and we'll talk about it, because there's some stuff in there that I was like, yeah, I think 2018 is going to be a big year, for the Xbox. I'm real excited about it. So we'll go over that next week. Also,
okay,
go ahead.
I was going to say I might have something to put in that spot if you want to.
Well,
Okay, yeah, go ahead. It's about the game that shall not be named, but
oh, that's right. I forgot
About-
to add that, didn't I?
yeah, the leak, the Amazon
Yes,
leak.
I did. Yeah, go ahead. I was.
I'm actually looking it up because I read through there. I'm like, man, why does he not have that in there?
I was
So-
going to, and I was going to forward it to myself, because I always forward the stories to my email, but it was a site that I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not having them forward it, because then they'll have my email address, and I don't need to
Yeah.
be getting a bunch of email from some site. I'm like, I'll remember, and I just completely forgot trying to set everything up today.
Yeah, I think it's even on IGN now. I can't remember, but what it is Amazon. I think it's an Amazon, and where was that? Spain, or was it China? Oh no, Amazon Spain may have leaked State of Decay 2 and Crackdown release dates. So State of Decay 2 was supposedly, or the rumor is, that it's on May 25th, and Crackdown 3 would be June 29th. The Crackdown 3 one, I would highly... So So State of Decay, I was like, okay, I haven't played the first State of Decay. I guess I need to because people keep telling me it's really good. Crackdown, if you look at that date, what month is it in? It's in June. And what else happens in June?
E3.
E3. So
29th is a
that would
Friday.
be, that would be one of those moments where they could say Crackdown coming later, like
In
this
2
month.
weeks.
Yeah, except for that surprise is now ruined. So unless they wanna say, okay, now we need to get the surprise back. It's not the 29th, it's now the day of E3 that they announce it.
Download it right
Uh,
now.
Right now.
Dude, I would
So,
immediately be like, forget E3. I'm done
Yeah.
with it. I've seen all I need to see.
Yeah.
They better make their closing statement.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna lose
Yeah,
me for
exactly.
the rest of the show.
Yeah. So it'd be really cool if both those announcements are true. Because I know we've been waiting and stuff like that. So that'd be awesome. So all right.
Next
Now you
one
can-
was Sea of Thieves beta. Dates were announced. This is for the upcoming closed beta. So this is going to run for 5 days from January 24th at 4 a.m. Pacific time, which would be at 7 a.m. Eastern time. And it's going to run until January 29th at 12 a.m. Pacific time or 3 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're already in, you have to already be in the Insiders, Sea of Thieves Insiders, or have pre-ordered the game to get into this beta. But those are the dates.
Yeah, and this one isn't covered by the NDA, so we'll be seeing probably a lot of people streaming and
Yes, you're allowed to
Stuff
take
which-
screenshots.
yeah.
Stream it. I am
I'm in.
so I'll probably be streaming on our TXL Mixer page. At least one day. I'll try to get as much time as possible to play that. Maybe we can get Braun in there with me, and he could
Yeah.
lead me around and tell me what to do.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. I'm fun with it. So
Next, we got some new features. Rob, you're in the Alpha Ring? Have you seen these yet?
Which features was that specifically?
Starting, this came out. Where's my date on this? So on January 8th, this was started to roll out at 6 p.m. So they've got latest update includes the next achievements feature in the guide. Enables you to view and sort a cross games list of upcoming achievements. Easily see which ones you're closest to. And you can launch the game to obtain the item, sort filters, allow you to prioritize. Okay, that's part of the thing. Mini game hubs are available right in the guide. There's a do not disturb option for your status. So this is going to allow you to suppress notifications and let your friends know you're not available for another game or activity right now, which I think is good because it's nice because it's going to suppress notifications. So if I'm watching TV or something, and even if someone pops on, it's like, hey, so and so's online. Which kind of, if I'm watching a movie with my family, I really don't want. I'd rather that not happen. And on the 360, you could have notifications automatically disabled when you were watching a video, and then they took that away in Xbox One and finally brought it back 4 years later. So it's not really a feature. It's kind of like this existed on the 360. They're just calling it something, going, hey, look at this cool new thing that existed, 10 years ago. So I'm glad to see it back. So that way I can just go do not disturb. And then you don't have to go into the settings and find the notifications and turn them off and then have to remember to turn them back on. You just set your status to do not disturb and boom, you're done. So that works for me. I like that. And they're making the community feed easier to view comments. You're going, to address the user feedback, they've added additional inactivity shutdown options for power mode and startup menus. And then put your theme on a schedule. You'll also be able to switch between light and dark themes based on time of day. So those are some of the features that are in the Alpha Ring right now. So Rob, you should have seen.
Yeah, the only thing that I really noticed out of all these is the next achievements.
Uh-huh.
And I see that shows up in the idle screen.
Yeah, I see that too, though.
Yeah,
But this is
it's in the guide.
more in that it's in the guide. Plus, you should see the mini game hubs. It's going to be. It says will soon be available right in the guide. With this feature, you'll be able to access great content for the games you've played recently from a game hub without ever having to leave the action. Mini game hubs provides an easy way to see friends who are currently playing, upcoming achievements, looking for group posts, and more. So you don't actually have to leave the game. It's going to be in that little slide out or overlay the game. So that's some stuff.
Okay.
Let's see what's the next thing. Oh yeah, achievements. Keep hearing about this too. Looks like achievements are going to be getting an overhaul. So there's the new Xbox achievement system could include levels, quests, and avatar loot. This new system is supposedly called Career. Could be added to Xbox, adding leveling quests and loot for avatars sitting alongside existing achievements in Gamerscore. Windows Central is reporting that it has received documentation showing that Microsoft is currently testing Career, which seems to subsume the current achievement system. Completing achievements will contribute towards your gamertag's level, and leveling up rewards players with loot boxes containing cosmetic items for their Xbox avatar. Players can apparently even prestige in the system. Career will also include quests, which reward players with more XP and loot boxes for doing specific things, such as playing a specific game. But you can't. And just for the record, you cannot purchase these loot boxes with real money. These are only for doing certain things. Then you get rewarded for that in this system. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you care? You look forward to it?
Depends on how they implement it. I mean, it could be interesting, but
yeah, I think the like achievements in general, just like for myself, I think they've become super stale and irrelevant.
Right.
So doing something like this it makes sense that they're trying to do something. Because to me, if achievements went away, I wouldn't even notice that they were gone. In all honesty. But I think them doing something to try to re-spark the life into them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're doing something. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it's cool to see something different, or them attempting to do something.
I just don't understand the whole Avatar tie-in. I mean, I know the avatars are still on our Xboxes, but I never see it. It's not front and center anymore. So who cares about? I'd rather see if you did something in a game, maybe I'd rather see unlock a weapon skin or a character skin or something in the game. To me that would be more interesting than an avatar item.
Yeah.
Who uses their avatar anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep you guys updated on more about that. And then these last two, I'm going to save them as well for another time.
Okay.
Unless, Braun, you really wanted to. I know we're running
nope,
along here.
Nope. We can save them.
Okay, we'll save those two for next week.
Yep.
We'll have a really good conversation. So let's do that. So next week, people, we are going to talk about the 35 big new Xbox One games for 2018. We're going to talk about a history of game industry screw-ups. And we're also going to talk about, can AAA games survive without microtransactions? So, I mean, I think those three topics right there could fill our show next week.
Yeah, I agree.
I will try to do that, but get to those next week. And then, Rob, did you have any recap stuff?
Yeah. One thing I really want to mention is Microsoft mentioned that in December of 2017, the Xbox One actually outsold the PS4. So I don't know if that was the first time in this entire generation that happened. I don't remember. No. But yeah, they outsold the PS4. Xbox One did, at least. And no surprise, the Nintendo Switch outsold them both.
Yeah. Probably both of them combined.
Yeah. And they probably would
Well,
have
they-
sold even more if they were much more readily available.
Yeah, Nintendo put out a thing where the Nintendo Switch was the fastest selling gaming console in this generation.
I believe it's in
S-
the history of. I thought it was in the history of video games.
Okay, yeah, like something outrageous where it's just like,
Yeah, I think they came out that it's the fastest selling console in the history of consoles.
yeah.
So, pretty impressive. I
Yeah.
gotta be honest, guys. I kind of want one myself, but there's only like 2 games I really want to play on. So that's
I've
Mario Odyssey and Mario Rabbids. I wanna
Yeah,
play
so
those two.
both those games are fun. Zelda, I'm looking forward to playing Zelda, and Mario Kart's fun. But I'll tell you, it is a neat little console. Like I said before, I'm glad of course, we were going to have one in the house. I mean, I have young kids; they love it.
Yeah.
It is definitely a neat console. So, highly recommend getting one if you don't have one, Wing, and you've been thinking about it, because you'll like it, and the kids will love it too.
Who said I was gonna let my kids play?
Well, you know what I mean. To help justify, if you need to help justify.
You're like, you guys got Christmas money left? Let's go in on this, and I'll share it with you.
Yeah, the thing is, it's perfect. Like when you just want to sit back for a little bit, like in bed, before you go to bed, maybe put about 20 minutes into a game. Usually, that's when you're playing on your iPad or playing on a phone or something like that. You can fire up the Switch and play some Odyssey in it.
Can
Works
you
great.
play Gems of War on it?
I don't know if you can play Gems
If
of
you
War.
can, I'm sold. All right.
Let me look it up while
No,
you're
don't. I don't even want to know. Just forget I said that. All right. Oh, I don't have the image. How come I don't have the image, Brun?
For what?
For rant of the week.
Oh, you don't. I do.
That's rude. I thought you set this up so it was shared for everybody.
I will bundle everything I have.
Ugh. See, he wonders why. No, never. So anyways, I'm gonna try to make this brief. I've been doing most of the talking. It seems like, and I'm sorry. I gotta do my rant, and I've got a good one. And it's about gaming, but not in the way that people here are normally gonna expect. And again, my rants are not always gonna be about video games, okay? But this one is about parents at kids' sporting events. And so this past Monday, I took my daughter to her basketball game. She's in seventh grade. Yeah, make sure I gotta think which one is where. She's in 7th grade. She's playing basketball, and so we were playing this other team, and she's really good at defending, and she's so good at defending people. She can defend people taller than her, bigger than her, and basically who tend to be some of the top players on the opposing teams, and shut them down so they can't even get in to shoot. And very often it gets the other players very upset. Well, this happened on Monday night, and I watched this other girl basically throw my daughter to the ground several times. She ended up fouling out of the game. The refs weren't really calling much. And I was pretty hot, but I hey, I'm letting them handle it. My daughter wasn't getting hurt. She was getting right back up and going right back at it. So I was really proud of her. But I wasn't sitting with our team, typically the parents sit behind their benches. Well, I like to sit in the middle because it's just, you got the best view to me of the court. So I was sitting right at half court, and I was hearing the opposing team's coach, and what turned out to be his son, complaining about every call that was aimed at them, and like how no calls were made against our team, even though that was absolutely not the case. At the end of the night, there was like 8 fouls on one team and 7 on the other. And when I watched my daughter get elbowed right in the face hard, and my daughter was the one who got called on the foul,
Yeah.
like, excuse me? So, it was equally, would say probably equally unfair or fair. This ref does a good job, And again, it's not like official. There's like 2 refs. watching this
Mm.
whole game, and they're mainly watching the person with the ball, right? They can't see everything. Even in regular games, you can't see everything. And these guys do really well. And but so I was getting really agitated, and I was getting agitated over the aggressiveness of their team, agitated that their coach wouldn't do anything about it, agitated that his son and him were both complaining about the calls. And so we get into the second half, and one of our other players had been nailed hard, really, like, for the third time. And finally, that our coach was like, told the refs, like, would you please go talk to them about this rough gameplay? It's just, and we only had 5 girls this night. I mean, so I don't know what they were trying to do, beat us up. So one of us went out, one of our girls went out, and then we'd have to forfeit because we didn't have 5 girls or something. Like, is that what you're trying to do? Like, they had subs, we had none. So our girls were playing the entire game on top of it. And they're just abusing our team. So as soon as the ref went over there, then they were like, what? Yeah, I'll take care of it, but you guys need to stop running over our girls. All of a sudden, like, they just wouldn't accept the fact that they were wrong. They were just pointing the finger back. Well, it's all you guys. I'm like, we have 5 girls. One is so small and new that she doesn't even really know what she's doing. The other one is practically scared of her shadow. Like, so we have 2 really timid girls. My daughter's very aggressive on defense, but not to the point of, like, getting penalized or getting, not like, in your face, aggressive, hands up. Anytime she gets called on a foul, it's because she grabbed someone's arm or, going for the ball and did a reach, right? She's never hit anybody, never thrown anyone to the ground, nothing like that. And we had 2 other offensive girls that are both aggressive. One not, she's aggressive and will drive, but, not where they're, hurting anybody. We have one that will go right into people because she's kind of a showboat. She's not kind of, she is. But she'll run right into people and then go down to the ground and go, oh, I hurt my arm, and it's like, whatever, it's you brought it on yourself. You did it to yourself,
Yeah.
She's really the only one that's sort of aggressive, but she's driving to the hole and she knows that these girls won't stand their ground. So she's not going to get a charge. They're going to end up as a block because the girls are going to move, right? So she's playing appropriately that way, But yeah, I can see her being a little aggressive. But they wouldn't see it that they did anything wrong. I'm like, my daughter physically got grabbed and thrown down onto the hardwood floor twice. That's not even to mention the purposeful bash to the face by the same player, So they just like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. But someone driving to the hole, that's too aggressive, So anyways, all of a sudden we finally had taken the lead by like 1 point. We had 7 minutes left in the game, and the son went out onto the court, went over to the ref, and was complaining in the middle of the game.
That's a technical.
Exactly.
Automatic technical.
But you know what? The refs wouldn't do anything. Now,
yeah.
So let me give you a little info before I progress the story. The guy was scary looking. Okay. I'm treading lightly here because I don't want to be called something, but the dude, he had neck tattoos. Very scary looking demeanor. Like, you could probably imagine this person may have been in or will soon be in jail or prison.
She's okay.
Or might be in between visits. Just a very, very scary looking and threatening. His body language and things he was saying and doing were very threatening. Which turns out to be why they didn't tee this guy up. And I can go into that later. But so this guy's over there. So finally, and I'm a very quiet person. I don't like confrontation at all. Like, I will avoid it at all costs. I think I've been under a lot of stress the last month, a lot of crap going on, and I think I just blew it. And all of a sudden, I stand up. I'm on the top bleacher. I stand up and I'm yelling at this guy. Could you interrupt this game anymore?
Nice.
and
Yeah.
and everybody's looking at me, and this guy starts to walk away, and he's like, "Well, I'm not even the coach; I'm a parent." So I'm like, "Well, then shut up and sit down like the rest of us." And then he's like, "Well, I'm just defending my daughter, who they're running over," and I'm like, "Dude, I've watched your team throw my kid to the ground multiple times. Sit down and shut up." And then he's like, "Oh, you want to take it outside?" So by then I'm like ticked, right? So he wants to fight me, right? And he's standing at the bottom yelling at me. I'm yelling at him. So as soon as he said that, I started down the bleachers. And all of a sudden there was a hand on my shoulder. Like, I didn't even know. One of the other parents from my daughter's team, as soon as this whole confrontation started, he must have walked over behind me. And I never saw him there. And as soon as I took the step, he reached out and grabbed my shoulder. And I turned around like, what the heck? And the ref said, "Game's over." He called the game. "We're done. I want everybody out." And I was like, "Hey, we won." Which was all I really wanted, because I wanted to shove it in that coach's face. I wanted them to just like, you need to lose. You guys are such poor sports. You're teaching. And the thing is kids look up to their coaches, really look up to them. And this coach and his son are influencing them in a negative way, obviously seen by their team's gameplay, And it's like, I hated to see that. I hated to see those girls having a coach like that. But no one got into a fight. The guy tried to fight me, tried to fight the guy that was standing next to me. He tried to fight the coach. I guess he wanted to fight with the ref. So anyways, the game got canceled. I was all upset that the girls I'm like, great, I should have kept my mouth shut because I said something. All of a sudden, the game's done. And I didn't want that for the girls. And I didn't want to be one of those parents. So the next night, my son had a game, and as we were walking in, I'm like, if that same ref's here, I'm going to go apologize to him. And, well, it turns out he walked in right behind us, and before I could say anything, he comes to me and he goes, "I want to thank you for what you did last night." I'm like, what? I'm like, I figured this ref's going to rip me, like, shut up, get out of here, I don't need that crap. They don't need that, right? He said, no, I was very thankful. He said, it was good to know someone had my back. Yeah. So he was feeling threatened. And, these refs are by themselves most of the time. He had another ref with him, but it was like a teenage girl, a high school girl. Yeah. There's a lot of high school girls that ref these games, that play. But they, so he was basically by himself. And, this guy could defend himself well, too, and he was nervous, So it's just like, wow, okay. And I talked to him, said, well, I still apologize, and that won't happen again. And I'll always be here to have your back. If I'm here, I'll be here to help out, whatever, because I appreciate what you guys are doing. And I know you guys get it no matter what call you make. Somebody's going to be mad at you, one team or the other, right? But, yeah. And then the next night, it was my daughter's game again. I talked to her coach, and he was telling me the guy tried to fight him, and the other coach didn't get it and was blaming our team. And he's like, I had to give up. The guy just doesn't get it. And it turns out, so a bunch of people, including myself, reached out to the administrator of this league. That other guy, that other parent, has been banned the rest of the season from any game. Yeah. He has been banned. And I honestly have a feeling that coach isn't going to be allowed to coach anymore, which I kind of hope happens. But, and supposedly everyone's like, no, they had no problem with what I did.
The thing with the ages that they're at, because I've been through the same thing when Bradley was going through, and also I coach youth sports, but is that there's the parents' tunnel vision, and I mean, I'm guilty myself. When Bradley was playing, I may have turned a table over once or twice, but you got this tunnel vision of like you're focusing on your child and not seeing the big picture of everything. All I can say is it will, you as a parent will calm down. Like you'll see less of that happening as they get older, because as they get older, they can handle themselves.
Right.
But the fouling will get harder. I mean, I've seen Bradley elbowed. He was also extremely really good at defense. I mean, he was the same thing. He would be up toward the top of the key on defense and would really frustrate those people. But going on a six point run. One kid, I saw him just, Bradley goes up for a layup. And the kid just jacks him in the back and pushes him almost and like bangs him into the wall behind the basket. And I kind of tensed up, like kind of jumped up, like what's going on. And I just saw him turn and look at that kid. And Bradley's a very quiet young man. Look at him like, no, that's not going to fly. And that was at that point, I was just like, well, he's got it covered from now on. I can just sit back and relax. But his senior year in basketball was by far my favorite to watch. I mean, you get a little hot and heavy every once in a while when you see, definitely when you're at an away game, your team being taken advantage of by refs that happen to graduate from the same high school they're reffing, which is really interesting. And then your team getting screwed out by 6 points. But I had more time just going and saying, this is the last time I get to watch him play, and I'm going to sit back and just enjoy watching him play. But I would say the one time that I got really aggravated myself at the referees, and the funny thing is, the part that set me off is when somebody on our team severely hard fouled another kid on the other team.
Yep.
And what led to that was the refs letting the other team do that to our team. So they completely lost control of the game. Yep. And if any child or any young man was hurt during that basketball game, no matter what team it was from, it was completely 100% on those refs. And I was going to make sure that they were going to pay for it. Like I was that angry. Because somebody could have been severely hurt, and it's on them. Like, you're going to let somebody punch somebody in the face, you have to expect that the other kid's going to go down and do the same thing, if not worse, if not harder.
Right.
And then you're going to do what? Blame that kid? No, that's on you. So,
exactly.
But it's like that, and it's rough, and to the point where, if my youngest boy doesn't want to play sports, I'm okay with that, because I don't know if I can take the stress anymore.
Yeah. On top of it, not only did they forfeit basically that game, they lost that game. We're supposed to play them this Thursday, and the administrator of the league gave that other team a forfeit. We got another win.
Oh, jeez.
From this Thursday night's game. So. Which, I'm kind of like, yeah, you got banned and you lost 2 games because of it.
Yeah, I got entirely
explained to you. So.
Yeah, I have an entirely different mentality now after the last couple of years, because of just sitting back and actually it's my actions that I did that caused me to be like, Brian, you're an idiot. Why do you have to act that way? Just relax. And, even doing youth sports, because I coach youth football, being there and how I have 5 coaches. So as a head coach, I have 5 coaches underneath me. And, to the point where if something goes bad and I hear one of them complain, I'm like, listen, I do the complaining, but they get angry because they know I'm not going to complain that much. Like, I'll walk up and say something or ask nicely, but I don't go out the full, like 100%, like start yelling and stuff. And I don't know if that just drives them nuts, but the thing is these guys are in 3rd and 4th grade and they don't need to see a guy yelling at the referee. So
yeah, well, that was, I think, the biggest thing afterwards was I felt bad, like in front of my daughter.
Yeah, you do.
Like, I got like rage, like intense. Like, this dude's like, you want to go? Come on, let's take this outside. I was on my way down. Like, it was like it was just like I was a bull in a china shop, man. It was like all things went out the window. I was going to go down, and that would have been the dumbest thing I could have ever done. And I'm so grateful that one dude grabbed me. And I don't think I would have got out there, because even the coach was like, he told me that like 2 nights later, he's like, dude, he's like, as soon as I saw you heading over, he's like, I got to cut this guy off. Because everybody knew this was going to be a mistake for me.
Yeah. See, I had
guy. I'm a big guy, but that was a dangerous guy. At least he looked like it. So, but it's also that same thing. It's like, you don't want to back down. It's like, these people like that, it's just like, it's their way. They're the only ones that are right. They're impacting these girls' games. I wanted to get him out of there. So that they could continue this game. And the refs should have teed up this team a lot earlier. And he even admitted they should have. He even said we should have teed him up a long time ago. But I also get he was threatened. So, it's tough. I can sit and watch my daughter get beat up. It drives me nuts. I'm like, I'm constantly, this was one way over the line. But, it was when the parents are involving and the refs aren't teeing them up. It's like, all I said is sit down, but I got mad. But anyways, way off topic. It was a rant. I had to just, I had to go do it. So anyway.
Hey, I had one of those requests as well. Like, do you want to go, so-and-so? And my response was the exact same, which I don't know if that person thought I was going to say okay or yes, but I was just like, sure. One of those things, but I got to sit down, but it was from the boss, so I had to sit down.
My wife wasn't there, so I had to come home.
Okay.
I told her, because she's been sick, and she's been sick since Christmas Eve. She is now finally starting to get some life back in here. It's like, oh my gosh, I've been a single parent for over 3 weeks. Rob, heart goes out to you, man. I don't know how you do
it.
Yeah.
It's such
there's actually
doing that.
There's a couple times.
Do it.
Yeah. There's a couple times in a couple games where something fouled really hard, and my wife being the other parent, I just kind of turn and look, like waiting for the okay. Like, can I yell now? Can I yell now? And she wouldn't say anything. I mean, she was, calm and collected, but of course there's some signs that she gives away when she gets frustrated and angry. Like, her neck turns completely beet red. But so.
Well, I told my wife, I said, I think you'd have been really mad at me. She told me she would have been with me, probably standing next to me, yelling at the guy too, up until the point where I started to go out. She's like, she goes, everything you told me, I would have been right with you until that point.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll move this on. Thanks for letting me rant. I appreciate it. So you can reach us at, you can send us voicemails. Please do. We love to hear from you guys. You can go to thisxboxlife.com, click on send voicemail on the right-hand side. You can also hit the contact us to send an email, or just send it to contact@thisxboxlife.com. Looks like we did get an email.
Yeah, it was a comment on our site.
Okay.
Yeah, so this came from Josh D. So Josh commented on our show the other day, or a couple weeks ago, where we were talking about Mario Odyssey and how to use the cap. Josh wrote, you can do all the moves in Mario Odyssey without detaching the Joy-Con controllers. Look it up, try spinning the left joystick and throw Cappy.
Yeah, so that was one of the ones where it's like it wanted you to shake the Joy-Cons, and I was like, that's very aggravating because it was a neat move. And actually, I watched my daughter do it yesterday, as a matter of fact. She's like, yeah, you got to get him spinning, and then you throw it. And I was just like, well, it does work. It does work that way. I know there's a little section where you can see all his moves and stuff, but it's not out in your face like how to do all those. But I read that, and thank you for your comment, because that was directed toward what I was saying. So, but thanks, Josh.
All right. You can also follow us on Twitter, thisxboxlife.com/Twitter or /Facebook. That'll take you to the group. Ooh, I need this. That one. It just give me an idea. But we have both of those. Bear with me. It looks like now that Rod's leaving, unless Rob wants to do it. I've finally logged into Twitter, and I'm going to attempt to use Twitter, but I hate Twitter, and I hate social media. So I'm on Facebook. I do the Facebook stuff, so maybe Rob, are you a Twitter guy? Do you do much Twittering?
I used to.
Maybe I'll convince you to take over the Twitter account. Because, dude, I don't get Twitter at all, man. But we'll try to keep that going. All right, Rob, you're up. What's new this week?
All right. So the retail releases for January 15th through the 21st. It's probably the biggest list we've had in a while. On the 16th, we have Inner Space. January 17th, we have 2064 Read-Only Memories. Also on the 17th, Full Metal Furies. On January 19th, we have Beholder, Mutant Football League, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, The Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human, and Vesta. So I think the biggest release day is Friday the 19th. We got a whole bunch of stuff.
I was mentioning to Mark, I wonder if they do, because I know it's not early access. Is that what Mutant League Football is coming out?
It's
preview.
leaving game preview.
Oh, it's leaving game preview. I didn't even know it was in game preview.
Surprise.
Oh. Well, I might have to go see if I can try it, because I was curious if they were charging for it right now. Because it's a very niche game.
Previews are. I mean, $30 game preview of PUBG.
Yeah, I do know some of them are, for sure.
I think Ark costs money, but you got it for like half price, I think, and then when it retailed or came out, the price went up.
I'm going to check right now. What else was there?
Anything else? Oh, yeah, it's still Robson.
Yeah. Games with Gold for this week. What is today's date? Was it 14th or something like that? Yes. Today is Sunday, January 14th. So that means in the next couple of days here, we're going to have the old switcheroo with Games with Gold. Exiting on the Xbox One front will be Back to the Future, the game, 30th Anniversary Edition. That is leaving on the 15th. And the new guy in town will be Zombie. Continuing for the rest of January is the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3. And Xbox 360, you've got one more day here to get Tomb Raider Underworld, leaving on the 15th. And new to the scene is Army of Two on January 16th. That is Xbox 360 and backwards compatible. And if you're an iTunes user, make sure to find our show in the iTunes store. Give us a 5-star rating if you would and a little review. The more of those that we get, the more we get bumped in the rankings over there. So that's a great and easy way to support the show. Also, if you're making any purchases on Amazon, please use our affiliate link each and every time you make a purchase. You can find that on our website, thisxboxlife.com. Click on the Amazon logo. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but it definitely helps us as we get a little finder's fee for sending you their way. And looks like, as Mark said earlier, we are on Mixer now at mixer.com/thisxboxlife. So look for more content coming there soon. And that's it for 466. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope.
So, thank you guys for joining us. Ron, you've got what? 2 weeks left? 2 more shows?
Yep.
First and the 28th?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, 2 more weeks.
So, all right. So, don't leave yet. We got 2 more weeks. Hey! ISU Fan 62, thank you for following. We appreciate that. And, yeah, we will be back next week, same time, same channel. And thanks again, as always. I am Mark, a.k.a. Wingman 709. Taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody.
And I'm Brun, BJ Swick 33. Have a good night.